How you doing, guys? This is Bgdino, and I am the Terradome Soldier. Welcome to my movie review show. Today's movie is going to be on, today's review is going to be on the movie Bone Lake. But first, let's watch this trailer. This movie is actually a sleeper. Let's get into it.
This house on the app, he thought Bone Lake was a euphemism.
Yeah, I thought it was called Bone Lake because it's a secluded place where people come
Don't
to
say
bone.
it.
Yeah, I thought that. Great minds.
Male minds.
Do you guys like to play games? Everywhere you go and everyone you meet is playing together.
We have this house for the weekend.
Seems like we also booked this house.
It was supposed to be just us, and now we're with strangers. She's pretty.
So is he. So are you. I think this is an opportunity to prove your love before the weekend is through. But if you leave now, there are things about us and each other that you're never gonna know.
It seems like someone wanted all of us here.
Love is kind of like a game of chess. Want to know what happens if you lose?
Bone Lake cuts directly into it. I mean, it doesn't mess around at all. It gets straight to the point. It starts off with a male and female couple running through this forest, completely bucket naked. And you don't know what's going on. You see them running real fast. They falling over trees and things like that. Then all of a sudden, you see that somebody shooting bow and arrows at them. You see arrows flying past them. You know, they running for their life. And eventually, you see one of the arrows pierce the guy. It hits him in the shoulder. He stops and grabs it. And then the female, she's still running. They separate from each other. They're still running. She falling over trees. She ends up falling on a tree that has a branch sticking out like that. And of course, it impaled her. You know, not really impaled her, but yeah, it did. But she was still halfway living. And the guy, he was still running. And then they shot a bow and arrow, and it hits him right here. I kid you not. They actually show it. I was like, I didn't know if I should grab my mouth, my eyes, or I didn't know what to grab. It was shocking. I'm not even kidding you. That first 3-4 minutes of this movie beginning was completely shocking. But I was pleasantly surprised, you know. This was a movie that they didn't really talk about much. That's why I called it a sleeper movie. It's a movie they never really talked about it much. But it comes off just like that, you know, and after that scene, it shows them two get killed. It jumps to a new couple that's actually about to go to this Airbnb. It's a real big, huge, fancy house. They go in there for the weekend just to, you know, keep their relationship fire hot. So while they're there, they doing little things. They finally get to the Airbnb. He uses QR code to get in because it has a QR code reader. And he gets in the house. They appreciate everything in the house. Oh wow, it's a nice house. They noticed there was 3 rooms that was in the back of the house. They had locks on them. It was like some old-fashioned locks. You know, them kind of locks got the little metal part on it before you can stick the key in it. Yeah. So anyway, you know, they ain't paying no mind because, you know, you go to an Airbnb, sometimes they got a room that's locked. You know that. If you ever been to an Airbnb, I guarantee you've seen it. So, you know, they made little jokes like, how you know the owner don't have no cameras in here? Hey, that's a chance you take it at Airbnb. You don't know. This movie right here, it brings up a lot of questions. So if you're in a relationship, yeah, you can go see this movie. This movie will challenge you though. And I'll just tell you this, it's a movie. Do not take this movie home with you. This movie has a lot of temptations, a lot of challenging questions. Like, would you do this? What if I did that? You know, I'm just telling you this right now from the beginning, before I dig deeper into what's going on. This movie does have a lot of questions like that, especially if you're in a relationship. You know, hopefully you're the kind of people that can go see a movie and take a movie for what it is. Don't bring it home with you. Don't have a discussion about it. In fact, I'm telling you guys, do not have a discussion about this movie with me. I'm having a discussion for you right now. When this movie is over, if you go see it, don't have no more discussions about it. Walk out the theater and act like you never even seen it. You know, say somebody is good or it's bad, but don't have no discussion about anything you've seen in the movie. With that being said, let's continue on. They in the Airbnb, like I said, they appreciate everything. It's a real big fancy house. So they're there for maybe about 3-4 hours, and all of a sudden, they stand in the living room and they see somebody else at the door, and somebody just opens the door while they're standing. They're like, what in the world's going on? They thought they was the owners of the people that came to the door. They said, oh, are you guys still cleaning the house? They was accusing the people that came in at first as housekeepers. And they're like, no, we rented this Airbnb. And he's like, well, no, we rented the Airbnb because we had the QR code also. You know, so they had a discussion. Oh, they must have double booked. You know, you most definitely see something's a little off with this couple. You know, not really off, but you can see something's not right. So they outside having a discussion about what they should do about the situation. And then one person come up with the idea, well, maybe we should share it. And I would have been like this.
Oh, no. No. Hell no. To the no. Yeah, to the no. Hell to the no. To the no. No. Hell no.
There's no way I'm sharing no Airbnb. I don't care how big the house is with somebody that I don't know. There's no way. Either I'm gonna leave or y'all gonna leave. One of us is leaving, but I'm not sharing with you guys. But if they did that, it would have been a short movie. So anyway, they decided to make the decision that we're gonna share the Airbnb. And you know, the couple seems pretty normal. They have little pool parties, little dinner parties, little toasts and things like that. It gets to a lot of uncomfortable scenes, like with the female, the second couple. I'll consider it couple 1 and couple 2. Couple 1 was the first couple in there. Couple 2 is the one to come through the door. That way we won't get confused. So the female from couple 2, she was in her bedroom doing something, and the female from couple 1, she was outside doing something, and the guy was still there from couple 1. She came downstairs with just a towel on after getting out the shower and asked the guy from couple 1, can he help her find her contact lens? It may be inside her purse because she can't see anything without it. You know, it seemed like a ploy for sure. You know, it was a test. So she got him, he said, okay, sure. You know, he's trying not to be rude. But sometimes, we all been in it. You know, like I said, this movie right here relates to a lot of things. We all been in situations where somebody asks you something, you try not to be rude. You know, I can tell you my personal experience. Sometimes I go to the gym and somebody say, do you mind, spotting me? I don't like spotting people I don't know. So instead of me being rude and say no, sometimes I might give into it and do it. But nevertheless, in this situation, she asked him, can he find her contact lens for her while she's standing there with a towel on, and he knowing his girlfriend is outside somewhere and her boyfriend is somewhere around the house. Nobody's going, so they're in the area. And she got him to do it, so he's digging through her book bag, her bag. And as he was digging through the bag, she had a whole bunch of adult toys in there sitting on top. And they was automatically uncomfortable from the very beginning. He's digging through, like, I don't see it. So she's telling him particular things to look for, and everything, you know, exotic. Like, find these particular underwear, got strawberries on them. Find this shirt that got, you know, a zipper in the front. You know, it was all porn type stuff. Yeah, he eventually found the contact and he gave it to her, and she said, oh, thank you. And then she said, thank you very much. And she dropped the towel. She acted like she was trying to close the door, but she knew the door was wide open. She dropped the towel, like, so he could see her. So she was like trying to tempt him. So I'm going to break this movie down to a couple of parts. So the first beginning of the movie, I say probably the first 20 minutes, there's a whole bunch of things where the female from couple number 2, she tries to tempt the guy from couple number one, just to tempt him, and the guy from the couple number two tries to tempt the female. And it gets to this one scene where the guy from couple number one, he had an engagement ring that he has from his family. It's a family heirloom. He had it inside his car. And he was going to propose to his girlfriend at lunch. So just so happened, he happened to pick up the ring, and the guy from couple number two seen him do it. And he said, "Oh, that's a nice ring. Let me see it." So he showed it to him. And he said, "Well, I'm planning on proposing to her." He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. We must have messed your proposal up because we came here and it's supposed to be you and your girlfriend." And he said, "Oh no, don't worry about it." He said, "Well, I can get out your way. Let me know what time you want, and I'll get out your way, and you can propose to your girlfriend." This is what the guy from couple number two is saying to guy couple number one. And the guy from couple number one, he felt, happy about it. He said, "Okay, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow night, like around 6, if you can give me that free time." So the guy from couple number two, he said, "Sure, no problem." So a lot of more scenarios going on, a lot more temptations. They doing little things. The guy, he's doing little things to couple number one to try to get her to look at him or say something out the way to him and things like that. Automatically, like I said, this couple right here, after the first time when she dropped the towel, he should have been like this.
The fucker's got to go. Go! The fucker's got to go.
Yeah, because him and the guy from couple number one and the female from couple number one, they was having discussions about, do you think that was, they was being kind of weird? And they kept on telling each other, no, it was just our mind, we just thinking like that. So then, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. It gets to a scene where the guy from couple number one, he was left alone in the house with the female from couple number two, and the guy from couple number two and the female from couple number one was in a car going to a store together. So it gets to a scene where the guy from couple number two, he tries to tempt the girl from couple number one once again, and the female from couple two, she tries to tempt the guy from couple one again, and it gets real tempted, and then it goes real deep with it, then it just cuts off. So you don't know if they ever did it or not, on either side. We don't know. So they keep it up to you to think about it. Even towards the end, actually, it never really came clear if the female actually did. It came clear that the guy didn't do anything with the couple girlfriend too, but it never really came clear. I'm just jumping a little bit, but it never really came clear if that was the truth or not. So to fast forward a little bit, instead of making this a long drawn out movie, first of all, like I said, keep this movie in the movie theater. Do not bring this movie theater home, especially if you're in a couple. Do not have this discussion. So anyway, they at the dinner table, and they was about to eat dinner. Then all of a sudden, the guy from couple number two, he said, I gotta make an announcement. So everybody gets quiet. So the guy couple number two, he says, he proposes to his girlfriend, and he uses the guy ring that he saw show it to him from couple number one. The guy, he showed him the ring and said he was gonna propose to his girlfriend. He took his ring from him and proposed to his girlfriend with it and put it on her finger.
The fucker's got to go. Go! The fucker's got to go.
So the guy from couple number one, he just sitting there looking like, he's not even saying anything. He's just looking like he's completely shocked at what's going on. Like, he didn't know what was going on at all. So he's like, I need to meet you up. We need to go outside and talk. So they go outside and talk, and they go have, I guess, male bonding. He telling him about situation that he think she cheating, and he telling the other guy, yeah, she cheated on me before too. But he was like, but it doesn't matter what you say, I still want my ring back. So he was like, okay, I'm gonna find some way of getting your ring back. And then, it goes. There's a lot more uncomfortable scenes that they did. Like I said, they kept trying to tempt them in different ways. And it got to a point where both couples, they started to realize that they was playing them. And they was like, well, we need to leave tonight. We need to leave or tell them to.
The fucker's got to go. Go! The fucker's got to go.
You're going to hear that a couple of times. Because a couple of times they should have said this to their people. I mean, I would have said no from the beginning. But even once they did a couple of things, I'd have been like, you got to go. You got to go. The first half of the movie, like I said, it's a whole bunch of tempting and things like that. Then once it got to the point where the guys, they realized that they was playing them, like I said, and they, oh, I'm sorry, I skipped back a little bit. The 3 rooms. The guy from couple number 2, he said he know how to break into locks, and he said, let's go see what's in those 3 rooms. So you go in the first room, there's a whole bunch of sexual stuff in there, like sex dungeon type stuff, like swings and things like that. Then they go in the next room, there was a whole bunch of weird things in there, like weird dolls and books and stuff like that. There was a bunch of strange stuff in there. And then the other guy from couple number 2, he said, well, let's go look in the room number 3. And then the girl from the group number 2, she said, no, we don't need to look in there. We had enough. We seen enough stuff that they was creeped out by room number 2. Now fast forward back 12 hours, just that. The first couple, they realized, like I said, that they was playing them and doing little things, trying to tempt them, and they want to see what's really going on. So they pretend like they was got in a real bad argument, and the girl from couple number 1, she said she was leaving because they was standing outside the door, like listening into the room. And they like I said, couple number 1, they caught on to what they was doing, like trying to tempt them and do things like that. So they was like, he was like, the guy, they busted in the room. He was like, hey, go find the girl. She left me. We was arguing and she left. So when she did that, she was really hiding under the bed. So once they left out the door, they locked the door, they locked them outside. And they went to go find out what was inside that room number 3. Room number 3 had cameras. They had all kinds of cameras behind the mirrors and things like that. They had a little history. We had a family portrait. And the family portrait showed a mother, father, and then it showed a daughter and a son, like somewhere similar to around the same age. But you can see it's an older picture and things like that. Then when the second half was a straight up horror movie, straight up slasher movie, straight up psycho, chase you through the woods, try to kill you movie. Once they realized, they caught on to everything. I'm talking about the couple number 2. Once they realized couple number 1 caught on to everything. So the whole thing with the couple number 2, I kind of almost pointed out at the beginning. So the picture that showed the father, the wife, the son, and the daughter, the son and the daughter is actually those 2. So they wasn't actually a couple. They was a couple that did incest. They was with each other, and their whole thing was they try to get lower couples into their Airbnb and try to seduce them and see if they can break up their relationship. They say people that have been together for so many years can separate within a matter of one day. It was like a little game to them. Then once they feel like if they was able to tempt you, then they kill you. They kill you and throw you into this lake. The reason why the movie is called Bone Lake, because the house sat on a lake, and it was like an urban legend about the lake that someone like in the 1800s, they had it, and they said it was a serial killer that he took, he killed people and he threw all their bones inside the lake. And they said once they discovered the lake, they said it probably had like over 1,000 skulls in it. So that's why the lake has the name called Bone Lake, and that's why the movie is called Bone Lake. So anyway, like I said, the thing was they were actually brother and sister, and they was in an incest relationship. And like I said, they get a kick out of getting people there to try to seduce them and things like that. And then it came down to that the parents actually caught them having incest when they was like teenagers or something like that. And they got mad and they killed their parents and threw them into that Bone Lake. So that's pretty much what the movie was about. It's about, an incest couple. They got a kick out of watching other people to try to break up people's relationships. And if they could do it, they kill you. They never had an opportunity where somebody wasn't successful. Every time somebody always fell into the temptation. They had many tapes, VHS tapes, and of people that they was able to seduce and was able to actually have an intercourse with them or something like that. And then he ended up exposing them and throwing their car in the lake and their body or whatever. Like that lake had so many cars and a whole bunch of stuff inside of it. You couldn't see it. It looked like a nice lake, but if you get in it, you could see that it was cars, and they showed it very clearly at the very beginning of the movie, but you didn't know what it was all about. So it gets real bloody after that. Chase scenes, the good guys end up winning. They end up, I don't just want to say the good guys end up winning. I'm gonna explain how they got killed. The guy, he got killed because he had a chainsaw and he was about to, he had a chainsaw and he was about to hit the female with it. The guy, he was in the house fighting the female. The female, she was real strong and she had him stab him in the leg and he was able to knock her out and try to go out there and help his girlfriend, which was about to get hit by the guy with the chainsaw. So as the guy was coming with the chainsaw, the guy behind him, he came up with the axe and he hit him in the back of the head with the axe and killed him. And then when he fell, you see it in the movies all the time when the guy got a chainsaw. What happens? He falls on the chainsaw and it cuts him in half and blood go all over both of them. So both of them walk around looking like Bloody Mary. They realize that both cars are destroyed. So they try to leave earlier, and when they try to leave, the female, she ran her car into their car, so they have no car. So they made the decision that they're going to go to the lake and get on the boat and get away from the area. So while both of them was trying to escape, because remember they said the guy, he got stabbed in his leg, so he couldn't really run fast. So they're making it to the boat the best way they can. And then the female, she shows up like a ghost, like Freddy Krueger or something, just popped out of nowhere, standing on the back of the boat. So they fighting her. He still got the axe. Every time she about to hit him with the axe, the girl, she driving the boat, so she make him fall. And a big tussle. She ends up, the bad girl, couple number 2 girl, she ends up falling off the boat. She got hit with the axe, but she wasn't dead. And she's underwater sinking, and her hair gets caught up in the propeller. So the guy, he's like, go in reverse. So they can run her over, and her hair's stuck in the thing, and it's going. And then, she finally gets the thing started, and it cuts her all up. It was disgusting, but the movie pretty much goes off. Both of them sitting at the end of the boat. First they start, while she was trying to get back on the boat the first time, when her hair got caught, she still was trying to get back on the boat. The guy, he had the axe, and he ended up cutting her fingers off. And her fingers were still on the boat. So, like I said, when he kept telling the female, put it in reverse to cut up, she eventually did it and cut her up, and she was dead. So the guy from couple 1 and the female from couple 1, they were sitting at the back of the boat, and they just sitting there. And he realized that his ring was on the boat, because he cut the 4 fingers off. So he got his engagement ring back. And they just sit there laughing, and they break the 4th wall to this movie at the very end. They laughing, and they just end up looking at the camera and just sitting there laughing, and they showing the words go up. It wasn't uncomfortable. It was good. This movie right here was a complete sleeper. I didn't hear much about it. I don't think a lot of people heard a lot about it. I just said, let me check it out because this is October. I want to see anything that's scary that's in the movie theater. And this movie was surprisingly good. It had a lot of sexual talk in it. They didn't really show a lot of nudity besides at the very beginning when I said the guys, they was running through the woods. There was a lot of sexual talk. How could a movie be sexual without showing sexual stuff? It really wasn't. It wasn't, but it was. I think they had one sex scene, but they didn't show anything. It was like kind of blurred out. They had an over-top camera view. I've never seen that before, but so they did that, but you didn't see anything. You really didn't see no nudity besides the very beginning when the guy, walnuts got pierced. That's about all the nudity you've seen. Overall, I'm going to rate this movie. Bgdino, my rating is 5 out of 5. Pterodon Soldiers is the best. 0 out of 5. Pterodon Soldiers is the worst. I'm going to rate this movie a 2.9 out of 5.5 Pterodon Soldiers. This movie was pretty good. It's a good date night movie, but like I said, let it stay there because I already know, something like that, it can bring up a subject that's a real uncomfortable subject for people and about temptations and things like that. But overall, it is a really good movie. Take it as a movie what it is. It's only like 4 people to play in the movie, but it was never boring. It was never boring. It was never a snooze fest. There was always something going on. There was always some good dialogue going on. So I can respect that. You only got 4 people and the movie is actually still good and entertaining and not boring. That was really good. So once again, my rating is 2.9 out of 5.5 Pterodon Soldiers. Time for my honorable mentions. Shout out to the Dante Show Network. Shout out to June 5th. Shout out to my buddy eBooks. Shout out to my buddy Thug 2000. Shout out to Miss Jersey. Subscribe to her channel. It's Forensic 8888. She does movie reviews and book stories also. Shout out to my buddy. He's an ex-military guy. He helps a lot of veterans out. He does bike tours. And he has a lot of good content. All these guys have content on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Please give these guys a try. This is Bgdino, the Pterodon Soldier. I'll see you guys for the Halloween special in the Terradome, Part 3. Part 1 and Part 2 is already in circulation. Part 3 will be on Wednesday at 12 a.m. So Tuesday night. Part 3 will be in circulation. Thank you guys for all the support. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you again for all the support. This Bgdino Terradome Soldier. Salute. Thank you guys, and please be safe.